And on this episode of the worst quote of all human history, we have this from Fandom Pulse. Star Trek Star is terrified of how Section 31 will be received, admitting it's not the Trek people want. Now, of course, I am not paying or even getting a free 7-day trial with Fandom Pulse, so I'm going to take this headline at face value and just go from there. Now, before we get into this, let me start off by saying I'm a big free speech guy. I believe in the First Amendment. I believe that people should be able to say whatever they want. However, I think if you are contracted with a role, with a product, or anything like that, you should do your absolute best to spin things in a positive way. We cannot have a bunch of Rachel Zeglers running around just saying whatever they want to. So when I think that people are being paid a ton of money to be in a project, they should be telling them, okay, this is what you're going to say on the red carpet. This is what you're going to say in the interview. Every interview should be a scripted thing. It should be something that's scripted that portrays the product in a positive way. Maybe even have the interviewer in on it. Say, okay, cool, here's your list of questions, and here's all the answers we're going to give. We're going to run it through like we're filming a movie. You know why? Because of things like this. So it says right here, early signs point to big trouble for the Paramount Plus streaming movie, Section 31, as actor Robert Kozlowski says he's terrified of fans and it might not feel like Star Trek. Why would you say this? Why would you say this? You can say, you know how, here's how I would spin. I would say, you know what, I am terrified because Star Trek is a beloved franchise and I want to do my absolute best to make sure that I play a character that people are going to like. They're not going to want to turn off their TVs and go like, oh, that was the worst thing ever. There is a lot of pressure because I want to get this thing right. That's what you should say. You should have passion when you talk about a role, especially if you're in something as beloved, I'm sorry, used to be as beloved as Star Trek was. It says right here, Alex Kurtzman has turned Star Trek into something completely unrecognizable from its previous form with Star Trek Discovery, Lower Decks, and Picard. Fans don't see any optimistic, and then I'm not going to get the 7-day free trial, so I'll just assume it says any optimistic way of spinning it or something like that. It's amazing what Star Trek has done over the past few years. Over a short amount of time, they have destroyed their product, which should essentially just be printed money. Every time they make something, it should just be obviously a $1 billion movie or a highly viewed record breaking TV show, but it's not. But it's not, and they know it. So I do wonder what goes on behind the scenes at Paramount. Are these people really as dense as we imagine them to be? Do they really just sit in a room and say, hey, you know what we really need to do? We need to really attract the old fans. Let's put a black female as the lead and have her just be a terrible actress. Is that what they're saying behind closed door? This is what we need to bring in more Star Trek fans. We're just gonna cram more diversity down their throat. We're gonna cram more messages. We're gonna have the worst storylines they've ever seen. And you know what? They're gonna tune in week in and week out because they love the brand. They have nothing else to watch. Do they not realize that we have other options? Do they not realize that if we stop watching TV right now, if we stop watching anything new, we have libraries of TVs and shows that could last us a lifetime? We don't need anything new. I was actually thinking the other day, it's like, wow, I'm looking at my son, I'm thinking, it's going to be kind of interesting that he's going to be watching movies that are like 30 years old. When he's able to understand movies, like he's going to be watching movies that are 30, 40 years old. I'm like, yeah, these are great. Everything now sucks today. We're not gonna watch any brand new movies. We're not gonna watch any of this garbage. We're gonna watch the old stuff because it's better. Oh, look, a new Alien movie comes out. It's okay, buddy. We're gonna watch Alien 1 and 2, and you're gonna be really happy with that. We don't need to watch the new crap going on. Oh, what? They have Star Trek Section 31 that no one watched? It's okay. We're going to watch Star Trek Into Darkness and you're going to be happy with it. Unbelievable. The hubris of these companies that think that we have no options whatsoever. And you know what's going to be really funny? In a few years, with the explosion of AI, we're going to make our own movies. We're going to make our own shows. And these companies are going to be gone. The second these technologies come out, and we could just design our own movies and shows, and I am desperately trying to find the perfect software that can bring my ideas to life, and I'm struggling. So if you're listening right now and you know of any software, please let me know, because I'm struggling to find what works these days, because everything, it's hit or miss out there. But a lot of these things, I said this on another video about I think it was Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Joker. Their copyrights are going to run out very soon. And when that happens, if James Gunn's DC universe doesn't take off with a bang, we are then going to see the greatest Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Joker movies the world's ever seen. I'm sorry, Joker, we've already seen the greatest Joker movie we've ever seen. Joker 1 was a phenomenal movie. Wonder Woman, I was not wowed by the first one. I wasn't wowed by the second one. Batman movies, I don't think there's been a lot of good ones in a very long time. Man of Steel, I enjoyed it, but when you get die-hard dedicated fans and you let them make the movie they want to make, these studios are going to go under. And Star Trek, like I said, it used to be good. It's not good anymore. And eventually, people like Seth MacFarlane is going to make things like The Orville again. That's a way better Star Trek show than anything they got going on right now. And it's just going to blow them out of the water. So, this quote right now saying, again, you could say you're terrified, but don't say it might not feel like Star Trek to them. You should have said, I feel terrified because the amount of pressure that's on us, because we want to make the perfect Star Trek product and we want to make the fans happy and we just want to do our absolute best to please them. That's what you say. You don't say it doesn't feel like Star Trek, not the Trek that people want. Because right there, you're telling us, I don't want to watch your product then if it's not Star Trek. But in the end, what do you guys think about that?